Hey, you ever been down to the Dip Dog stand?
I have not.
I've been there once or twice now. Everybody in Southwest Virginia just goes nuts about the Dip Dogs.
I hear a lot about it, but don't go there because I'm lazy.
You don't, oh. You got dogs. Do you dip your dogs?
I saw a thing about flea dipping them, but
yeah.
putting them in mustard and deep frying them, I haven't tried.
Man, I don't have no dogs, so I don't know. But then, if you ever around here, you just go get you a Dip Dog, I guess.
Yeah, I hear it's got the...
That's very correct.
Very correct. All right, well, let's get the show going, folks. This Daytona 500 week just ending up, the Super Bowl of stock car racing. I don't care what anybody says. Longest one in history.
Hey, I watched Radioactive on NASCAR Race Hub yesterday, and there was a handful of drivers saying, this is the biggest race of the year. Let's ready for this. Kevin Harvick was going all out on the radio about like this. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Super Bowl of racing.
Big.
For sure.
And then yesterday, as of filming, we're filming on Wednesday night. Yesterday was the 75th anniversary of the forming of NASCAR by Big Bill France, Sr., making that happen down in Florida. So it's a big week. And even bigger than that, this is episode 3 of Wrap It Up.
Yes.
We're going to do this one for Dale, baby. Give it up.
Welcome to Wrap It Up. This week, we're going to Fontana. We're going to talk a little bit about Daytona. We're going to talk about the paint schemes. We're going to talk about the race at Fontana. But first, I want to take care of some business tonight, and I want to introduce you to the doctor. So, this is the doctor right here. And,
Biscuits and gravy.
Have you ever read some books about NASCAR? Have you ever read a book about NASCAR?
I've read a book about NASCAR. I've technically read every book published about NASCAR.
Oh.
I've seen every race that's available to be seen to public since at least the 1980s. I've done quite a bit of reading about the whole thing of NASCAR.
You scribed some things on paper
I wrote
too,
some
right?
things down, or more. I hit more keys than I did the scribing, you know. But yeah, I wrote my doctoral dissertation about the leadership of NASCAR. And all the way through its history, from the very beginning, the forming of everything, up until just about where we are now when it came out a few years ago. So I spent a lot of time on that.
All right. There he is, the doctor, folks.
Thank you.
Let's talk about some paint schemes.
Okay. Well, I didn't even introduce you. This is Justin, the Snake Master. If you're going to give me props today, I got to give you props. Snake Master of Southwest Virginia, Northeast Tennessee. What did you do today?
Today, we had record warm temperatures here in the mountains of Southwest Virginia, and I found 7 snakes today out just walking around, and I just know how to find them.
Any particular kind?
Today was the water snakes, a lot of those, and a garter snake, a queen snake. So
see,
it's Richard Petty's other half.
All right, I see.
The queen.
These water snakes, they in the water?
Today they were not. They're beside the water. It's too cold in the water.
All right, I'm gonna make an educated guess here. Garter snakes over beside the garter.
The garter snakes they just lay in the leaves. They don't.
Somebody named this whole thing wrong.
I know, it's crazy.
All right, well, first, folks, let's get into Daytona and talk about the insanity that was the longest Daytona 500 in the history of Daytona 500s. Being the 75th year in NASCAR, that made that the 65th Daytona 500.
Right.
I did hear a little slip on Fox, I believe it was. Say the 75th Daytona 500. It's like, somebody didn't check the facts. Daytona 500 and the NASCAR didn't start the same year. So
right.
They had to build that track. But such a big race, the biggest and brightest people ever were there. And if you've watched our previous 2 episodes, you know we like to use AI to predict the future. Future American president.
Oh.
Coming at you right here, folks. Look at him. A man of the people. Smiling, white teeth, supports Bass Pro. He knows what's up. He's a man of the people. Future president.
Future president. Is that what the AI says?
That's what they say.
Okay.
So I was like, tell me the biggest stars that were at the Daytona 500. And they said, here's a dude that slept with Kim Kardashian and that Kanye really doesn't like. And I'm like, well, if Kanye thinks he's bad, he must be good. Okay. You're halfway there on my vote. All right. But really, the big star.
The big star.
This man right here, driver, ESPN put up a post welcoming or congratulating the winner of the 23 Daytona 500, Driver is his name.
Driver.
ESPN said.
Sounds like ESPN's coverage of NASCAR.
They had the graphic ready and just forgot to type something in.
Wow.
Well, driver, good job. He was a heck of a driver. He knew what he was doing.
Oh,
So, first place, Daytona 500.
treetop.
Biggest win ever. This is what he's driving come this week at.
So sad.
Last week for California.
The last race at California
Or is
on
it?
that configuration.
Is it?
Yes.
I hear the drivers are mad.
Well, I mean,
drivers have been putting up a stink this week about it.
I would be kind of too like. Well, here's my take on California the last 20 years. All right, some races at California, I'm like I would rather be peeing on an electric fence than watching this. Some races at California
That's fair.
have been really competitive, kind of good races, especially in the, you know, since the surface has been so worn out. But I don't know if Ricky's going to win at California if he's just going to be in the top of trees this week.
Well, definitely. I suspect this is the top finishing tree in the field. 100%. I'm willing to put the bets down on the DraftKings, the Bet MGM, all the people we're supposed to cheer for. I'll put my money there. I think, honestly, though, we might have seen something going on here because this year it turns out that the 47 team has a new alliance with the Hendricks. Maybe if your boy is getting a little bit better car here, maybe even like a second-class Hendrick car, it's a pretty good car. And maybe Ricky's going to start showing people he can drive a little. Listen, when he was in the Nationwide Series, the Xfinity Series now, he was kicking butt and taking names. This year also, his new crew
chief back, right?
Same
From
guy.
that.
Maybe they got the chemistry. Don't sleep on Ricky this year. He might have something. I mean, it's early.
He could have.
He could. We'll see. Right now, he's got it. He's first in points.
Right.
Lead the points, baby. What about your second place
finisher?
The number 22.
Hey, I'm glad there's something different this week.
There you
Joey.
go. He's mixing it up some. He's got him some white and blue.
I was happy. I was happy that Joey did not win the Daytona 500.
Sure.
My son was so distraught last week at the Daytona duels that Joey Logano won the first duel. 10 minutes later, I'm not joking, he pulled his first tooth out. He was like, I just can't handle this, and just pulled it out.
I've seen men pull their own teeth. Back in the day, you'd see Harry Gant. Man, he come through the field, Mr. September. My uncle didn't even have any molars by the end of September of 91. The man was toothless. It was ridiculous.
Man.
People get crazy. Your son's just a passionate man. I understand. He knows. At least y'all pull for the same people. What about number 3 in the finishing order, Daytona 500? This week he's going to drive the Sirius XM car over here at Fontana. I like the scheme. I always like the Sirius XM schemes. I don't know. They just look good.
I like that better than sometimes when he runs the red, like the ream.
Mm-hmm.
I like this one better than that one.
Absolutely.
Chris, at one point I thought Bell had a shot to win the race.
Absolute.
Don't know how he's going to do at Fontana.
I don't know. You know, this dude, like, nobody is really like, oh, man, Christopher Bell. Like, you don't hear a super lot of hype about him other than the Toyota camp. But he's been coming on pretty strong since last year. I mean, he was in it for the Cup last year, and now all of a sudden he might be, you know, the big, strong horse they thought he was going to be.
I think it might depend on the weather. I heard something on the Weather Channel this morning about insanely cold temperatures for Southern California. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be race day or like before race day, but I mean, if it's sunny and hot and slick, it could play into Christopher Bell's hands.
Absolutely.
Like a dirt track guy, but we'll see.
The 48. He got him a good finish.
He got him
was
a
on the
good
pole.
finish.
I saw a stat. Did you see a stat about his finish?
First time a pole sitter had finished in the top 5 since Bill Elliott. I think it was 2001 or 2002.
My gosh.
Bill Elliott.
Wow.
First time a pole sitter in the top 5.
I never realized. Dang. So getting the pole at Daytona is really
That's not good.
not a good thing. And I mean, he only got 4th. So, you know, it's not like, oh boy, I almost won. He wasn't even near the big clean out there, but he held it together. I mean, he put together a good race. I think the 48 team's strong. I really do. Another team, I think it's like the 20 team. They're kind of they're on the powerhouse team, but it's like they're the fourth guy kind of. But I still think they've got a lot going on. Maybe sometimes surprise a little more than the big dogs in their camp.
Whoa. So last week, Dinger's laying the seeds. This week he's farming. Smart.
Yeah. So they got
isn't it like the same thing? Just a little more
I believe
white?
it is. I mean, it's the same paint scheme, and my understanding is it's the same company. They've just decided instead of they're going to, for instance, cow logs are looking behind you. Instead of writing cow logs on the car, 1 week, they're pulling a Terry. 1 week it's Fruit Loops. 1 week it's shredded wheat. Well, shredded wheat, I don't know. Is that cow logs? I don't know. Maybe.
Sure. Frosted Flakes.
I think. Okay. Exactly. So they're just, I think that's the deal. They got different brands within their umbrella, and they're trying to show them each off on the big stage. It's working. We're looking at it. Now, if I go somewhere and I'm going to be like, should I farm stupid or smart? Which one are you going to do? You're probably going to farm smart. I'll be honest with you. I'm probably going to farm stupid. That's usually how things go. But, I just,
Bright chrome green, neon green numbers.
Okay. A new challenger has emerged for best
of
paint
the week?
scheme of the year.
Of the year.
The year.
No way.
The 19 last week, I was like, already. Race 1. Race 2. This your boy right here. Look at that green chrome.
And that's my boy, but I don't think I would go with paint scheme of the year.
He's in the running. That's a hot. I like the colors offset perfect. That's a hot car. And listen, if you're one of those diecast fans, color chrome on this.
Yeah, it would make a cool diecast, but
that's a hot car. If you can deny that is definitely hotter than anything we can possibly see coming up, then I just don't trust your judgment. I don't.
I have not seen the rest, but I'm going to disagree.
I am disappointed in you again. Let's take a break. We might. This might be the last. We might just sign off. This might be the end of the podcast. Justin might not have enough understanding of paint schemes for us to continue. Let's all have a moment of mourning.
White Blaze Outdoor provides educational hiking tours, fly fishing trips, and shuttles. We're located in Abingdon, Virginia, near the Appalachian Trail. If you are only looking for an afternoon hike to see wild horses or a full multi-night trip, we have what you need and know where you want to be. We are currently booking adventures in southwestern Virginia and northeast Tennessee. For more information, visit whiteblazeoutdoors.com or call 276-356-7068.
Welcome back to segment 2 of Wrap It Up. We're starting with a wrecked car, but I mean, there were a lot of those.
I just wanted to put this up here. Take a look at this. This is the car that finished 8th place in the Daytona 500. Yeah. That's awesome.
That is pretty awesome.
This is why I love Blaney right here. Oh my gosh, look at that. I've seen cars get 36th place that don't look that bad. I mean, dang. And this is not the first time I've ever seen something like this either. Man, I've got a picture somewhere just saved for no apparent reason. Just I need to reference it sometime should it come up, which would be right this moment, but I don't have it, of him like after Martinsville. Oh my gosh. It was like it, or maybe it was Bristol. It was maybe both. I don't know. He was missing an entire side. It was Bristol. It was the Advance Auto. It's Bristol, baby. Exactly. Let's look at what he's doing this week.
Oh.
I like the colors. Definitely.
I like that.
I kind of like the little lines around the number. It kind of makes me think it's kind of a 80s vibe. I don't know, for some reason. That's just what I'm getting. It also could be something, now that I look at it a little more, there's kind of like a lining around the 12 and seeing all the spikes. I'm kind of starting to think, did a dude make this in the NASCAR game, maybe in the paint booth? Because I'm like, I could make that in the paint booth pretty easy. That's really... But it still looks good. I'm not dissing it. It's just not very complex. But sometimes the simplest things have the most beauty to them.
What is that supposed to be? A butterfly or a?
I think it's just a W
heart?
for the company's like worth. I think. I think it's just their first letter.
Something different to see.
I don't know what they do. Every once in a while, put a picture of a tractor on your car or a pickle, a rooster. Tell me what it is you do at your company. I need a picture. I don't understand what worth is. Looks like it's got 2 dots over the U. That tells me it's like German or I don't know anything. Now I'm upset and scared. They're going to take over the earth again? Never let Germany unify. They overthrow the earth every time. Don't do it.
I know.
Ryan Blaney's stressing me out. Let's get out of here. What about the number 1? 9th place, top 10 finish.
Well,
this week, driving the Kubota car. Coming up to.
He won a stage at Daytona.
Stage.
So that was nice.
He's got a playoff point.
If
the playoffs start now, he's tied for second in playoff points.
Mm-hmm.
Obvious facts.
This is my favorite paint scheme of Ross's so far this year. I like this.
Right. I do too.
Pretty sweet. I
like the colors. I like the layout. This is one of the first paint schemes for 23 that I saw, and I was like, man, we're going to have a good year. I dig this.
I think we'll find out this week if Ross is for real again this year, if Trackhouse is for real.
I think so. And that's the scheme.
Top 5.
That's for it all. Hey, listen, everything that went down and him to still pull out a top 10. At one point, he was leading the race and, got the stage win. So he had some power. The race was just crazy. This week, I suspect to see something. Now, last week, your boy, Riley Herbst, did we not say? We didn't say he wouldn't finish. We said he would wreck.
Right.
I counted 3 that just off the top of my head. 3 wrecks.
One time he just went to the right coming on pit road.
He was in a hurry to get things done. But so somehow
he's back.
No, he's not back. He's out of the car this week.
Good.
But the car finished 10th place.
10th.
He got 10th place in the Daytona 500. Riley Herbst. He wrecked 3 times.
You can tell I didn't even look at the standings behind 5th.
10th. He got a top 10.
Oh, my word.
Okay, so we were right times 3 about the wrecking. So, but I still want to apologize. Listen, first of all, if Riley Herbst is your guy, we're not really hating on Riley Herbst. If we're hating on your driver, we're not really giving your driver crap. It's just a little fun. These millionaire, rich, famous people, they could take a little poking fun at. That's what they do.
I'm just going off of every Xfinity race I've ever watched in my life. It's wrecked. So.
You're just stating facts.
I'm just stating facts.
We are going to get very scientific about all of this. Absolutely. So there were facts to back it up. But anyway, so that top 10 finish that the 15 pulled off, best performance I've seen out of the 15 car in quite a while, I guess, since they had a fill-in last year of Priest. But they decided, no. I mean, I know it was just one time for Riley planned. They're like, JJ, please come back, JJ. JJ Yaley.
Well,
coming back to a 10th place finish. He's got to follow that up now.
He won't.
Probably not, but I appreciate him trying.
Sure.
Somebody's got to do it. Why not JJ? Let's look at another car.
Let's look at the guy who loves the Daytona 500.
Loved it.
A little bit of sentimental on his radio broadcast talking about the last time. He says it's going to be his last. It was his last Daytona 500. So
that's my understanding. Even if he did show up to do something else in the future, from an interview I heard, he's done with Cup Series. Definitely, like will not do a one-off again. Like Cup Series is over. This is going to be it. But if there's a truck opportunity or an X opportunity to possibly do a few, it sounds like maybe he's going to be like Junior and pick up a couple here and there. So that'd be cool.
Well, this has, for me, I like it much better than the silvered out Busch Light last week.
Yeah. It's a good scheme. Simple. Tells me what it does. It says it's a wrench.
And it has gears.
And it's got gears. I know it's a mechanical thing, right? My simple mind can understand.
It's all about the car and the engines.
Right. And I'm watching cars. It all makes sense to me. I can relax now. My temper tantrum's over. Wait, before we move on. Last week and every week, we're asking you, tell us who's going to win the race coming up. And this week, it's Fontana, the last on the 2 mile, or what is it?
2 mile.
It's a 2 mile. 2 mile track. And then they're going to tear it up and make a small short track, kind of a hybrid between Bristol and Martinsville.
That's the plan.
And the drivers are mad about that.
I'm sure they are.
That's what I heard. And
They get mad about all kinds of stuff.
it doesn't make any sense to me because that sounds awesome.
I was watching clips yesterday from races in the 80s and 90s at super speedways.
Yeah.
And dudes were just absolutely rolling, smashing, flying out of the track, just barrel rolling. And I'm like, why these people just complain all the time about what they're going through today?
Right.
It don't make no sense.
It's true. It's true. I mean, and you go back even further, and I mean, there's dudes
Dying all the time.
So, like, go on YouTube, watch the duels for 1980. I think, like, getting ready for the 500. There's a guy who is going to try to qualify for his first 500, and I don't remember his name. It was his very first NASCAR race. He was a well-known late model driver around somewhere, and dies in just like practice. And the announcer's like, blah blah blah, passed away. Back to qualifying. And I mean, I was like, whoa. But that's literally, you can go watch it on YouTube. That's what happens. And it transpires because it's a dangerous sport. And I'm not saying it's not dangerous now. Heavens, no.
I know.
But, you know. But anyway, I don't know how we got carried away.
Give something away.
We're trying to give something away every week.
Comment.
First week, somebody did it. They picked the winner of the Clash. This week, nobody picked the 500. So we're going again to let this sucker ride until someone picks. So, Fontana, if you can comment, tell us the winner. 3, Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson. No, wrong.
It's Cody Ware in the 51. Look out on pit road.
That's the most wrong thing I have to push. All right. So, over here, 3, Jimmy Spencer.
Jimmy Spencer.
Autographed 2 cards. There's a
Mr.
card in there.
Excitement. That's what they called him, wasn't it?
Mr. Excitement.
Yeah.
And he drove a Pontiac at some point, but not always. And that was the car of excitement. They should have got together, man. It could have been exciting.
I'm going to comment and win this week.
Yeah, makes sense. I'll send you a message, find out where you live, and mail it to you.
All right.
All right. Looks good. All right. What do you think? Going into the 4, he got anything coming up? I mean, yes.
Fontana?
Yeah.
No, not at Fontana. Well,
He's
no,
dead,
he
but here's
won
your
at
boy.
Michigan.
Cody Ware in the 51. Look out on pit road.
But Cody Ware's coming back with that strong Biohaven energy again.
Did Cody Ware finish behind Harvick in the Daytona?
Yes, sir. Just one behind
Oh,
him.
my word.
Well, actually, I take that back. Now, we've skipped because the 67 isn't in this race.
Oh, okay.
67 finished in front of the 4, right? Is that right? Yes. And then the 4, and then the 51. So Cody Ware coming in strong.
Amazing.
Biohaven paint scheme?
Same as last week?
Yeah. Yeah, this is the primary now.
It's terrible.
The purple, I like the purple better last year for the headache medicine.
The Nurtec?
Another hookup to the Kardashians. So here, come with me on this journey. There's Cody Ware, the Kardashians, Kanye. Cody Ware's only one step away from Kanye. Pete Davidson, the Kardashians, Kanye. Cody Ware, 500. Pete Davidson, 500. The triangle. Cody Ware, Kanye West, and Pete Davidson. You've been warned.
Illuminati.
We're going to move on. I'm not going to say any more.
Corey LaJoy.
15th, top 15, honestly. Listen, I'm sure he's happy about that. Or he's probably not, honestly, because he knows Speedway's their best program.
Yeah, he was in the top 5 running for several laps.
Listen, I know, and man, I heard him speaking this week, and he broke down, and we'll get to that some other time, how the pecking order works within Chevy and who gets what. He just laid it all out on the table of these people, 25 teams, 25 cars in the field have access to anything they want from their manufacturer, and then there's a B level that gets what spills over, and a C level where Spire is that gets if there's even anything left after that. So he'll tell you they're at the bottom rung of what they can get, but still yet at this, I expected him to have a top 10.
Yeah.
So I'm a little disappointed. I like the scheme going in. It's to help kids. So it's got some blue on it. It's a kid's scheme, you know? Come on. Give it to them. The kids out, folks. Or don't. It's up to you. I'm not telling you how to live your life. This is macaroni salad,
This
the
is
car.
Like Lego built into the side of the car. I don't
blocky?
I don't understand.
Well, you gotta
Hashtag let's eat.
you just go over to Bass Pro and eat a tub of macaroni salad in the parking lot. Let's eat. Going fishing?
Go fish.
Just eat a 5-gallon bucket of macaroni salad in the sun
You'll
while
sink your
you're
boat.
out casting. Smell them fish. Eat that macaroni.
All right.
Mayonnaise don't go bad.
All right, Martin.
It's an ugly car.
It's ugly.
One of my favorite things about this scheme, though, I'm going to tell this story. Not this scheme, but this sponsor. When Eric Jones had this sponsor, they asked him one time, Eric, do you like that that potato salad? And Eric was quick. It's all I have in my fridge. It's nothing but that potato salad. And then he laughed. He knew it was great. It was awesome. Oh, the 17 car. I had better hopes for him at Daytona.
Yeah. Well, I mean, his teammate was about to just try to wreck everybody for the win anyway, the whole night.
Yeah.
And what the world is Pala Casino?
It's a casino.
It's a casino.
That's maybe
What's Pala?
Near this track.
Oh,
I think it's
maybe like Pacific LA or something.
Yeah.
Well, I don't like it. Come on down to the casino here because it's
Bristol, baby.
We got a new casino.
we do have a new casino.
Hard Rock back in that coming in. So you want to show up when you come into town? Go over there and leave some money around. I need it for my job. We get some of that, and I can use it. I'm telling you what, these children, they need to learn about tomorrow. It's all about the children. I'm with Carla Joy. Speaking of children, let's take a break.
Yeah, this is we need to go to break after looking at this anyway.
That's right. All right, wrap it up. Coming back.
We're still showing the 17 to Chris Buescher here because he actually finished fourth,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking while we were in the last segment. I was like, something's wrong.
and we don't know.
We don't know what we're doing.
But
Episode 3, we're doing it for Dale. Please, Dale, help us.
we're just going to go on to the next one.
I guess so. Okay. So
Denny Hamlin.
Hamlin did actually. We
Finish.
even skipped over to the 36 car, had a 13th place finish. Is that right? Zane Smith?
Zane Smith.
But the 13 car's not running this week, so we didn't show it, but I forgot to mention
36,
it.
yeah.
So we're doing terrible. Hey, listen, it'll get better. It always gets better. We're figuring it out as we go, baby. Just hang with me, okay? Listen, you hang with me. I got Jimmy Spencer autographs, okay? Y'all, we'll pull Mr. Beast here. I'll start giving away Gen 5 Cup cars if y'all get me the money. Come on now. We'll be driving them down the streets. All right. So, Sports Clips back. Sports Clips is making a big push in the FedEx territory. Normally, FedEx, known for sponsoring more races than anybody in almost the entire season, even though one was preseason, we're on race 3, and 2 of them's been Sports Clips. One FedEx. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just a rotation, what have you. I still love that red on there.
The numbers.
Yeah, man. Anytime that number get reflective, shiny things. I'm like, ooh, my wife, she had like a bracelet on when I met her, and it had like fake diamonds. And I'll be like, oh, that's shiny. She see me looking at it, and she think I'm looking at her. Number 5,
Again.
he's going to drive it every week
Every
of the
week.
year.
And we're just going to say again every week.
Well, what do you think about his 500 run?
As a Larson fan on the super speedways, which he's obviously trying to learn and improve because he had a front row car in the duels. He stayed up front and tried to lead the whole race and was trying to learn some things. Overtime finish, second overtime finish. I jumped out of the seat and was like, oh, he might actually have a
Right.
shot to do something here. But then he just got trained in the middle. So
Second overtime finish, right?
Right.
He could win the race. Finishes 19th place.
yeah,
That's insane.
the way it rides.
When the race ended, or when the race should have ended at lap 200, let's say. I'm not saying there shouldn't be overtime. I'm a proponent of overtime. I like overtime. Don't get me wrong. I've watched. Listen, don't tell me it ought to be like it ought to be. I said at the start of the show, I've watched every race that isn't only locked up in that archive and NASCAR's got that is possible to be watched. And I love this sport, but there's some boring races, folks. Don't get lost on the nostalgia. Racing is good right now. Don't get lost in the past. Oh, my God, it's so great. Listen, there's people finishing races 15, 20 laps ahead of people, ahead of second. Come on, it's crazy. Don't tell me. Okay, so anyway, Larson did good. And here's my man who, right behind him, who I thought for sure had the win this year. I had it predicted. I saw it happening. We were watching. I was like, this is it. He's got it. He's got the 3 lined up with him. They have, it's perfect.
I did think he was going to pull it off.
And how, with winning, do you wind up 20th place?
Same way.
on the final restart. When this race should have ended at lap 200, only 5 cars were out of the race. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's insane.
Yeah. And
All these cars, and then
everyone wrecked it.
there were only 3 running right at the end to get to the finish line. That's crazy. Anyway, new paint scheme for Kyle.
New paint scheme.
Out of nowhere, they hit us with the Lucas. I think it's a one-time deal.
I'm
because
glad.
they didn't do a big announcement like they did the other stuff.
I'm glad it's a one-time deal because I don't like it at all.
Well,
But you got that motor oil.
it's very simple.
That additive to the
Very
oil.
simple. It's just got that one spike going to the window, kind of old schoolish race car when you actually had to paint it and it was hard to put a bunch of stuff. That's my problem. Wrap it up. You know, you could put anything on the car.
He's
Put
going
some
down
thought into it.
the Lonesome Pine Speedway to race a late model.
That, you know what? I've seen guys at Lonesome Pine that look better than that. I love Kyle. I like a new sponsor coming in, but I'd like to see more work go into the paint scheme. Definitely heartbroken. Definitely over Kyle's bad performance. But not his fault though. He almost had it. 23.
Bubba, boom.
Bubba was right back there. This is the first time we've seen this Leidos scheme again. That's been sponsoring him since he was running Xfinity over at Roush in the 6.
Yeah.
Remember those days? Ooh.
This is interesting.
Yeah. Colorful. Like I
not
was talking about a minute ago. You can do anything. Look at them. They're like, yeah, let's show it.
Not my favorite, but it's not terrible.
It's different.
Different.
I like the difference of it. I like that I think it wants to be, this is futuristic. I like that about it. It's colorful. It stands out. It doesn't look like any other car. I got to
Go for it. This is a man I thought had a shot at the 500. And then once the race started and his performance was not great.
Yeah.
After winning a duel, I was like, oh, Almirola. But the race performance was not great.
I don't know what happened. Fords were strong.
Yeah.
He got up there a little bit at the start, but then at one point he just lost what was going on. And I mean, everybody, though, it's hard to do anything. There was a lot of riding around, I think, waiting to count laps.
Sure.
At a certain point. And I know you can't race side by side for 200 laps. And I mean, they kind of do and forming different things, but still, just so you're trying to make it to the end. And then once everybody gets to the end, they freak out. You see what happens. But I will say,
going back to what we were talking about, the overtime finishes and
Yeah.
stuff, I am too a proponent of overtime finishes, but I will say I dislike when overtime finishes happen at super speedway races because 2 laps to me is not enough time to really
sort it out,
make something crazy happen. You know, when you have 5-10 lap runs, just crazier things happen. But
yeah, and also you're not throwing everybody into a barrel and going go finish now,
right?
So they don't they're crammed together. And then they've got to go. If they have some time they've got to get to, then they're going to work some things out and play some maneuvers a lot more than just push out of the way. Yeah, it'd be a little bit better if it was organized, absolutely.
Oh, this is... Man.
They call, when I'm at the racetrack and I hear them talk about him, they call him Brad Good Scheme Kozlowski. Everybody in the pits, hey, there goes Good Scheme. No, so stupid. That's why I think it's funny, because it's incredibly stupid. But, man, what a scheme.
This is my scheme of the week. I would pick this over the Suarez scheme for the scheme of the week. See, I told you I was right.
This is also in the running for greatest scheme of the year. Listen, I know I'm picking a lot of them early, but this is top 3 right now. We got that 99 this week, 6 this week. It was a big week. 19 last week.
Mm-hmm.
The chrome, that red,
Yeah.
the white. Like they're just,
I do.
Best Castrol scheme ever made in the history of any car that's ever ran in any series. I'm in love with. I'm not even a Brad Keselowski fan. I'm ordering shirts. Give me my phone. Like, this is hot.
Speaking of, who is that on your shirt?
This right here. Well, I went to the Loves and I said, I want to get a Michael McDowell shirt, and they said they're right over there.
Oh, that's
And
Michael.
got
I figured that was Michael
That's what I said
McDowell.
it was. I don't know if it really looks like him though.
Man,
I don't know.
well, Michael McDowell, you know, he
I don't
just
know.
he changes. He changes week to week.
It says McDonald, man.
Who we got next?
2, Menards. Menards, or apparently tires, are going to be on a Penske car every week, I guess. This week, the flavor is motor oil. Also, big motor oil weekend. Brad and this guy are not going to be friends.
Austin Cindric, what do you think he does at Fontana?
I don't think this is him. I don't think this is his track. He's a road course guy. He's some other things. But I don't think Fontana's the answer. And I don't want to give you a reason as to why. I just don't feel it in my bones for some reason. I could be totally wrong. I have no explanation about why I feel this way. Sometimes you just get, that's
Sometimes you just get it.
That's it. Sunseeker's back. You like
Noah
Sunseeker?
Gregson. I like this paint scheme.
He's seeking that sun again.
Well, he's from Las Vegas, right?
He is from Las Vegas.
He gets a lot of sun.
Is the Sunseeker Resort in Las Vegas?
I probably there and a few other places.
Maybe. I'm just wondering, a lot of times people have backing from, people they've met along the way or people more in their area that I'm just wondering if this is somebody back, from where he's from.
Backing him.
To get somebody he could go to say, hey, we've got sponsorship opportunities.
Either that or just whoever owns these cars now.
Yes, and that's the biggest thing. And it's so mind blowing. I can't even process it. Richard Petty, he's 85 years old. God love him. Perhaps, and arguably, and most people would say the greatest stock car driver ever. Maybe we'll have a show about that one day.
Yeah.
Maybe I can scientifically prove it false.
Maybe.
We'll see. He doesn't own these cars anymore. And by anymore, I mean he didn't own them last year.
I know
He's got a little old, and he just says it like it is now. And this weekend, he said he's not happy. He says he sold out completely when it left being RPM to become Petty GMS. It was just his name, his number, his likeness. He's getting paid, I guess, a salary for those things. And apparently, from my understanding, the way it was worded is he made all the calls. Everything at Petty GMS that happened, the hires, the people, Richard Petty was still that involved that he was making calls, that he was the final say. And now since Jimmy Johnson came in and actually bought into the company and actually owns a stake in it, which apparently Richard Petty doesn't, Jimmy, they say, is making every call. And the plan, Richard says, is 5 years down the road, Legacy Motor Company belongs exclusively to Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah.
As the airlines fly off into the distance for Allegiant. So big, I heard them ask Jimmy about it earlier on, and he said he had not had it expressed to him by the king that he was upset. So, but the king blatantly said, I'm used to doing things my way, and now I'm not in charge. Everything goes through Jimmy. Everything they design even has to be approved by him, and he doesn't like not being able to tell people what to do. So I get that, but you're also the king. Just maybe go out and just enjoy yourself. You're the
right.
This age of life, just relax and don't work. Just reap the benefits all your work. Oh, we're going back with another monster car. How many monster cars do you think they could fit in the field? 40? 38? Everybody but Rick Ware, maybe.
He can't afford.
You think Monster can? He can't afford them.
He can't afford them.
Everybody, other people like Spire, like they may not get sponsorship, but they could pay Monster. But Rick, he can't even pay to have it put on the car.
No,
he can't afford the wraps, just even if they give him permission. That's
I know. Whatever. I just liked watching them do tricks at Talladega that year when those Monster people were there, and
when they were
throwing out free Monster drinks to everybody.
That was pretty cool. We used to get a lot of Monster drinks. That's the only way I tried all the flavors was at the races, honestly.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, though, getting through college, one thing, Monster Mean Bean. That's the only way I did anything. If it was not for that chemical being in my body, I'd probably be a hobo right now. Absolutely.
Does Ty Gibbs do anything this weekend?
He's going to drive a car. He's going to drive that monster car. And
Harrison Burton?
I don't think he's going to have much. I think him and Harrison might be battling for positions.
They might.
They went ahead and
Dex Imaging.
Dex Straight Up is the sponsor this week, and they got their own spiggity spike going through the tire back there. I kind of like it, actually.
He's going to have a flat tire for sure.
You know what it kind of looks? It kind of looks like the car he drove in K&N series. So, which was also sponsored by Dex. So I mean,
I like this car better than the other one.
Me too. I like this, but
All those
Again,
ones, you
they're
know.
taking the old scheme and trying to apply it to the new body. This scheme is made for this car, and I think that makes a difference. I mean, I love throwbacks, don't get me wrong, but that's made for it. And Todd coming in hot. Look at this chrome, baby.
God,
You know what happens on that big chrome? You fry them fish.
Oh,
You got the Long John Silver.
ooh,
Ding, ding. I wish we had a bell sound. Ding, ding, you know, the commercials. Front Row Motorsports, the owner of Front Row Motorsports, to my understanding, got in a position to own Front Row Motorsports because he owns a lot of restaurants.
he likes to fry fish.
And he owns, not too far away from us in Northeast Tennessee, he owns quite a few Long John Silvers.
We used to. Well,
Restaurants.
I live in Abingdon,
Yeah.
town up.
You done.
Bristol, baby.
I
That's
mean,
what we
well, I mean, it used to have
Deep underground.
Ernie Irvin, Sterling Marlin, Morgan McClure race shop about a mile from my house.
Right.
We had a Long John Silver's, but they burned down or something.
Well, I think they have to do a lot of them. So they're trying to bring it back, though. So this is kind of like maybe self-promotion. This is maybe like we ain't got a sponsor, and because they used to run this a lot, and it was like, you know, it's the same thing as like the 31 running Leaf Filter. The guy who owns Leaf Filter owns the 31 car, so his company runs it. Same thing here is what I'm saying. Here's his teammate who finished right behind him, the number 34.
Well, at least they died on the same hill together.
Well, they got the same color scheme definitely going, right? 34's got this, what is this, Horizon Hobby? It doesn't stand out to me. It needs something. Long John Silver's, I know that's Long John Silver's, but I know that brand for a long time. This doesn't, like, oh man, there goes the Horizon Hobby car.
The Hobby Lobby.
Right?
That's what it reminds me of.
Exactly. See, if anything, they just promoted their competitor.
Terrible.
It's not a good idea.
Oh, no.
BJ. BJ, or actually, in front of BJ.
He's already there. He's already at the track.
The 50 car finished in front of BJ last week. So 50's not running this week, though. So we only have 36 cars in the field this week. All the charters, no open cars. The 78, he's already there. Or maybe he's just, you know, that's his picture in the sim. I don't know.
That's going to be where he starts and where he finishes. Right there.
I did notice as I was looking at it, it occurred to me, and just to be snarky here, okay? I'm not hating on this guy. This guy's running this whole thing by himself. He's a hero. But you notice there's no other cars around in the picture that they put out, right? I'm just saying. A little bit behind the field, maybe, you know, just, I don't know, put some cars in the background like you're in the lead or something, you know? It's your picture. This is your press release. It's an imaginary car, at least, you know.
Whatever this is, it looks like a knockoff of the Guns N' Roses Eric Jones car.
Kind of. I keep thinking the hood from this angle looks like a Bandit Firebird, you know, like a 1980s Firebird, like the black and the gold. But it's something where they want you to buy gold. For some reason,
Pontiac emblem on the front.
for some reason we've talked about buying gold every week on this show. I don't know why.
Well, it's a good investment.
Apparently so. I'm going to get me some. Y'all buy it. What about the 31 car? I was just talking about him. Now, Jimmy Johnson finished after the 78. The 78 beat Jimmy Johnson. And Jimmy Johnson was hanging around 10th place, maybe able to do something.
Yeah, until he got smashed
Until
up.
he got smashed up. And then the 31 Leaf Filter behind him, Justin Haley. It's not a good finish for Justin Haley. 32nd. He got caught up in maybe the second crash. Something like that, or it was a restart crash. But still, not a good position. Justin was really worried about his ride last year. Like he was saying, I'm driving for my job, and especially when Kyle was looking as a possibility. But there's a lot of up-and-comers coming in strong. He needs to put up some results, especially with the 16 being there now. And the 16 is going to do things. 31's going to have to start showing up.
Yeah, I don't know if he will. I mean, maybe. I like this car, though. Pretty cool.
It's got leaves. It's a good product.
I love it.
I bought it. I use it.
I didn't use it, but I like the car.
All right. Well, let's take a break. We'll go outside and look at it. You want to go on a ladder and look at my
out
gutters?
here and clean these gutters out.
Well, that's why I bought the product, so I wouldn't have to. But just to prove it to you, let's go.
White Blaze Outdoor provides educational hiking tours, fly fishing trips, and shuttles. We're located in Abingdon, Virginia near the Appalachian Trail. If you are only looking for an afternoon hike to see wild horses or a full multi-night trip, we have what you need and know where you want to be. We are currently booking adventures in southwestern Virginia and northeast Tennessee. For more information, visit whiteblazeoutdoors.com or call 276-356-7068.
Final segment of the Wrap It Up podcast, video cast show, YouTube, Twitch, major market, motion picture, IMD schedule, hernia exam.
Surgery. After we cleaned the gutters out, we came in. Now we got to paint.
It makes sense. And I do use Bear paint. I believe it or not. I'm just not pitching these products. It's a good paint. I didn't know it was made by Dow Chemical Company, but I guess paint's a chemical, and I guess that's how it works. It's got a bear on it. I like that. There's never a time where I see a bear and I'm like, no, I don't care for that. I'm going to be just killing somebody or something. But I'm into bears, so
I like bears.
Definitely. I mean, it's just like a bear stamp. They misspelled the word bear.
Yeah.
I'd like it better if they
probably
properly spelled the name of the sponsor, Bears.
Probably because Austin Dillon told them how to spell it. Which he looks like the Monopoly man I noticed the other night in the broadcast.
He had him a suit on and a pencil-thin mustache. He was maybe ready to walk up the steps and catch a Southern Belle in his arms after a Civil War or something.
I do like, this is one of my favorite Austin Dillon paint jobs, though.
It's not bad. I like the
cool.
feel, but again, if they're going to get live bears to sponsor a car, I get it. The bear doesn't know how to spell. He misspelled it. Like, look, he just didn't close the A off. Close the A off for the bear. It's a live bear writing down he wants to sponsor a car. Just help him out.
Get it.
It's ridiculous. And Duck Dynasty joined in, sure, and Dow Chemical, who made both of them, the Bears and the guys from Duck Dynasty. But it's a good tie-in. It reminds me of all three.
Again, another one.
And this was your pick to win the 500.
Yes, it was my pick. Well, in our
this was your pick. No, this was your pick to win the Cup.
Was in the race pool, I picked him to win the 500, which didn't happen. I picked him to win the Cup. But then last week on our show, I picked Blaney to win the 500, which
I thought you had
he still finished eighth
in a
wrecked car.
If he'd maybe had a car, he would have won. Raptor again.
I like it.
Said it. I like it. It's doing a good job. Keep it up, Slick Willie. You know, one time I called in to the Sirius XM, and the question of the day was, what should the nickname for William Byron be? Now, this must have been off season because they didn't have anything to talk about, obviously. And I mentioned to them that we had been calling him since he got to the Truck Series, Lord Byron. Mm-hmm. And Dave didn't have anything to say about that. You know, Dave, he destroyed everyone else's comments of what they had, but he didn't destroy mine. He said, okay. So I got to feel like he really liked it. So
he just wouldn't say.
So now we got our own show, and I'm going to tell everybody.
Lord Byron, Slick Billy Byron.
You know what? Every week I say it, but I'm going to give it to them.
Give it.
They're going to love it. They're changing up the 14. They're not going tractor, and this time they're putting gas in it over at the Rush Trucking Center, who also has Mobile One alcohol.
Delvic.
The AC Delco batteries.
Delvic package.
Just, yeah.
They need fuel. Some of them were running out of fuel.
Right. There was a lot of that going on. Good scheme. Still reminds me of Tony's scheme even, you know?
I was going to say, this reminds me of Clint Boyer.
And Clint Boyer, too, right? So they kind of kept it going. I'll give them that. They keep the brand going.
Cool.
What about you, 41? Again.
The 41's running it again.
Gene's going to pay the bill again this week for trying to run a thing. But you know what? I think he's made a great investment. This guy right here, he could have won either race we've had so far. I really believe so.
He can win any race that he starts.
You think he can win California?
He can.
But also, my grandmother could.
If she started the race.
If, they gave her a car and she only had to go, 40 feet. And she doesn't have a license, but she could win.
She could win.
So it's not much confidence.
He's not going to win this week.
Dang. I hope he show you up. Speaking of showing you up, let me show you what people will be able to do. They will show you up if they simply enter our contest by telling us who will win California, who will win this race, and you will receive what?
Mr. Excitement.
Mr. Excitement. These are genuine made of cardboard, made in China.
I'll help you out there.
This one, Tyson Holly Farms. I don't know what's going on here. Jimmy wrote his name on it sideways. Okay, here's his name. There's how the card goes. You can display it either way you like in your home. We will not check. I promise. Here's when he drove for Kmart. Nothing
Kmart.
ever good came of that. No one that ever had Kmart as a sponsor ever did good.
John Andretti, did he have a
Never
Kmart
did good at
sponsor?
Kmart.
Something.
DW's a shame that he even got in a car, the 66 Kmart car. But here's the whole school spirit of Kmart. Kmart's out of business, you know. They had too much spirit or too little. And for some odd reason, it has a Shrek card in it. Have you noticed that? We haven't even mentioned that last week. Free Shrek card.
Free.
Which seems to go with the car for some reason because it says Racing Champions. And Jimmy, of course, a signature. What is a signature? To me, it says, you know Jimmy has touched these objects with his hand. The DNA of Jimmy Spencer is upon these. Man. Do with it what you will. Wow. But do it responsibly. Do not send a ravenous group of Jimmy Spencers out for us. All in the country. Man, what a racing league that would be, though. Just a cloned 40 Jimmy Spencers.
Jimmy Spencers.
Different. One's in a Kmart car, one's in the Camel car, the Winston. They've all got to race each other for food.
Look out, Kurt Busch. Right.
What about the King's car that the King don't own anymore?
He loves it.
But it's his font. Here's the guy who owns the car that font of the number that the King used to drive when he won races. When's the last time? Well, going back to this, if the King's calling the shots, and listen, the King knows how to drive a car. I don't doubt it, but I don't think he knows how to run a team. I'm sorry, because when's the last time Petty did good? One of the Petty cars.
Last year.
Yes, but he didn't own the team,
All right, exactly.
Before that, when was Petty really successful? The 70s?
I mean, Eric Almirola won one or two. Well,
Yeah.
just one Daytona race. They got rain shortened.
I mean, and John Andretti won one, and I mean, there's a couple won things here and there. You know what I'm saying?
Outs.
But for the majority, when they were really a strong A team, it's been the 70s. I mean, even Richard didn't win anything. He won 84, but before that, he was dry those first years of the 80s pretty well. So I think the team's stronger than it's ever been since the 70s, definitely. And I still see it going up. It doesn't have the mythology that it did for me. It's Jimmy's team now, and I'm going to look at it that way. I'm not going to think of this as still just if even a sliver. This is Richard's car. He's working there. He's sold his stake in it, but now, different people have owned the Yankees, so it's the same team. Maybe the sport's evolving, and that's where we are. And your number and that font is your team. That font of that 3, and that 24, those legendary numbers. That's what you're buying. You're buying the Yankees name as the greatness. You're buying the 43 team more than anything else, I guess. More than even the ownership or the leadership. So Chase did not have a good week.
No, he did not. Took out in an early crash.
38th place.
Wow.
Not what he thought. I don't know. He again, maybe he was
be
messing
better.
with people earlier. He just didn't seem like he was happy to be there all weekend, honestly.
Yeah, I think he'll do better this week. He'll have a much better run.
Yeah, I think so too.
I mean, last year, Larson and Chase battling, slamming each other into the wall almost to win the race. So,
Yeah.
could be a repeat,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, I have no doubt the 9's going to be strong. No doubt at all. Normal scheme.
Same normal scheme, which
Yep.
I like.
It's what's going to happen. One scheme we couldn't get this week, the 45 monster mean or Beast Unleashed. Mean beans, the stuff I drank in college. This is Beast Unleashed, which is their new alcoholic monster.
Oh,
They have hid the photos and will not release them because they want to be a big open Monsters happening and to release the car this weekend. So we asked an AI to tell us what the car would look like, and this is what the AI said. And I'll be honest with you, if you watched our first 2 episodes, they did a much better job.
much better.
I kind of feel like it took a picture of like the rally monster car and was just like, we'll put an extra claw mark in it. They'll never notice. It's maybe kind of a lazy AI, honestly. And if I'm now looking at it, isn't there a signature in the bottom corner? Did the AI just go to Google search and like put a Windows 98 filter on this thing and Make it look black and white. We're getting ripped off on AI.
Oh, no.
They're already.
Do you know what we're not getting ripped off on?
What's that?
Ty Dillon. Ty Dillon.
Ty Dillon.
Ty, last place in the Daytona 500, was out early. We were watching together, and I said, "Oh God, Ty, why? Your son? It was even your son, Ty Dillon. I mean, everyone knows 2 sevens don't make Ty lucky. He needs 3 sevens on the car.
If he would come to the Bristol Casino, he would know.
That's where we need to get Ty at.
Come on
Get
down,
some real
Ty.
look over there. You know, Nations Guard is a company owned by Rick Hendrick. Did you know that? This is a thing he goes out to car dealers. So Rick's not just covering the 5 car this week. He doesn't even own Spire Motorsports. But he made a deal with them to sponsor some of their cars with one of his companies. Mm-hmm. He does some trickle-down things to Spire. But on the business side, he's sponsoring another car that's not even his. So I like the colors. This was the first scheme that your boy Larson ran at Hendrick when he came. So I really hoped he would run it again, but they just stuck with the one. I hope they'd mix it up.
Don't make any sense.
That's it. That's the whole field of what they did and where they go to.
California.
Who's going to win California?
Who's going to win California? I'm going to hit you with the big knowledge, and I'm just out of just the air right now. I'm going to say it's the 48.
The 48.
Who got 5th, not 4th, as we previously said in the podcast, because we don't know what we're doing. Numbers are hard.
48. That's a good pick.
You ever go to college so much that you don't know what numbers are? That's what I did.
One day.
Don't. It's not a good idea, kids. Get you a good trade.
I'm going last time on the 2-mile surface. I'm going with boy again. Kyle Larson is going to win again. One of his best tracks.
It's a good pick. Good pick. We'll see. You give us the picks. We've got Jimmy Spencer coming to you. We're going to roll with this every week, and then we're going to step it up to something better next week, and on and on and on, as long as you keep playing alone, if you will. Folks, we love you. We mean it. Hope you're doing well, honest to goodness. Leave us a comment. Talk to us. Come see us. Have a good one, baby.